Magic City lights, the Magic City nights. Think it's sweet, find out what Magic City like. Think hustle, got it off the muscle. From where you had to scuff them knuckles. If a nigga ever touched you, you know tables turn. I'd rather set my own than have a seat at churn. I review the contents, not listening to these old niggas nonsense. Take a page from Bumpy Johnson's, monetize our own content, collect the profits, study manuals of street prophets, got instructions, made deposits to my pockets.
As a fan, everyone in the group is kind of weird seeing how things are going. Sure. I mean, what are we talking about? Pretty, it's pretty etched in stone at this point what's going on, you know? I don't know what there is to really talk about, but I'm always open to speak about it. Where Joe at? I want to get Joe in here. Joe, where you at, bro? Why can't Joe go live with me? What you laughing at, man? Hold on, let me.
Yo, no, man.
Wait. What you laughing at?
You and I.
Huh?
I'm laughing at you and I.
How you doing over there, man?
I couldn't be better. I was having a blast laying in bed, watching you handle all of these questions like effortlessly and smoothly while I was answering them over here on nothing but fuck shit. So I was like, hey, yo, thank God that Royce didn't chime me in here. And sure enough, yo, I'm just leaving the pod. I'm on nothing but fuck shit. Oh, what's up, man?
It's good to see your face, man. Good to see your face.
Good to see you as well. You look great.
Yeah, likewise, man. It's good to see you, you know. It's good to see you in good spirits.
I think these niggas is lucky I ain't rapping. I swear to God. Hey, my money's on us. Stop it. Yo, talk about something healthy, man. I'm telling you, I'm on bullshit right now. Oh, man.
Do you think that that's what that was the intention, to turn this into like a battle between us two and them two? And if so, what would be the purpose of that?
No, I don't think so, man. Let me stop talking shit for a minute. I don't think that. I think this is expression, and you got to support people's right to expression, right?
Yeah, I don't think it. See, I got this thing. I'm real big on trying not to invalidate somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
Like how you feel is how you feel. I just think it's difficult to toe the line between telling your truth and airing out grievances. It's a difference.
Well, what's the line? And who makes the line?
I find that whenever somebody prefaces whatever they're about to say with, "No, I'm just telling my truth," that's just another way of saying, justifying some bullshit that you're about to say. You know what I'm saying? And when they do that, they tend to move the goalposts around at their convenience, because a part of what they're trying to do, there's also a manipulation factor that comes along with it that's necessary in order to be able to feel good or feel better about what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, but it's a slippery slope. Like, I can't say nothing about that because, like, you know, I'm saying my truth is like you said, it's the license to just get your shit off, like to just say whatever you need to say. And I don't never want to step on nobody's truth. What I can say is that just from listening, it sounds like I have caused hurt. I put the onus on me. I clearly have caused some hurt, and it's manifesting in the form of an album. That's what I got. Like, I can't shit on nobody's experience. I can't talk about nobody's interpretation of the experience. I think some things that I'm reading and seeing and hearing, It's not my truth. But what can you say about it? Michelle Obama said, when they go low, you go high. Hope said, when you argue with fools, people from a distance can't tell who's who. And like, I ain't trying to step on nobody. Like, get shit off, yo. That's everything ain't for everybody. I just want to try to understand it all. But in terms of this, oh my fucking God. No comment. No comment, man.
Yeah, these are just straight up diss records at this point.
To me, not you. You just an innocent bystander in this, yo.
No.
None of this is to you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's not, yo. It's not. You just catching the strays of it, but this is not to you, yo. This is a Joe Budden. This is to me.
Well, I put a big old bag on the table for the 3-man group because Joe is retired, but Royce said he not doing it without Joe because Royce felt like we wasn't big enough or whatever that was.
That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
It's false, first of all. It's false. It's completely false. Us getting off the label and sitting for a year, that's false. And the thing is, bro, we can provide receipts for all of these things. Like, why are y'all lying? What's the purpose of lying? You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't want to do it because I felt like you were retired, I'd be well within my right to do that. So I don't have to lie about that. You know what I mean? Now, if we want to talk about letting a white man come up in here and try to tell us who's going to be involved and who's not based off of his feelings toward you, now we having a real conversation.
Hot take is coming out of me. I can't control it. No, you pause down. You talking. I don't know how to ever address these things publicly because I do a bad job at it. So that's why I just like to follow your lead here. But yes. And then the niggas gonna say a whole bunch of shit like I'm trying to paint a narrative. I'm not trying to paint a narrative. You keep talking, I'm gonna start telling the truth. Because the truth is like real simple. You niggas spent, not you niggas, let me not even say you niggas. Because Joell be innocent and shit. Yo, I ain't speak to Joell. But Crook.
Yo, I'm going to give you that one. Don't call me out of my name again. I'm going to give you that one.
But I don't even hold that against them. That's just hurt people's shit. But Crook, at every turn, I said I'm retired to the fans. To you, I was truthful and said, hey, just not over there. And that's what boggles my mind the most about this, because that caused an issue between me and you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, how the fuck did this happen? Ah! Me and you had to have like some real conversations behind like friendship.
Yeah, and my whole Book of Ryan rollout was me getting asked questions about you. And I remember finally getting you on the phone and saying, yo, fam, what did I do to deserve that? Like, and it was like a long conversation that we had where we were yelling back and forth.
So that's my thing. Like, the conversations that needed to be had, like involving real shit, was just had. And for however many years now, Crook, you was the nigga saying, nah, I'm gonna stay over here. Let's stay here. I mean, he said that out his own mouth in the Twitter shit. Yo, I'm gonna stay. We should stay. Okay. So you stayed for X amount of years. And then you came around and somehow we had the conversations and we get off of over there for less than a year. Less than 1 fucking year. Less than a year. And this what you did?
It's hard not to be somewhat emotional about it, man, because it's like there's two sides of it. There's the business side of it. There's the emotional investment in all of the years, all of the sweat equity that we put into building something ourselves, brick by brick from the ground. And then there's also the friendship aspect of it. The friendship aspect of it, when you know that somebody is, you consider them a friend, and you see watching them make a decision where you know that they are putting the friendship and the brotherhood on the chopping block for a check, and they're willing to do that. The last time something happened to me like this was when a very, very close friend of mine, you remember, sued me for $1 million because some lawyer told him that there may be $1 million in it for him. So he chose to take to put it all on the line and take that risk and just say F the friendship. And it's just like, man, how can that not hurt, man? You know what I mean? Like, and when I say that, I'm talking about King Crooked. I'm talking about King Crooked. I'm not talking about Joell. I love Joell, but me and Joell never really been close like that. So he told partial truths in the song. You know what I'm saying? Like we were on the road, and then we go home and we go kind of like to our respective corners, but not me and Crook. Me and Crook spoke every day, all the time. You know what I mean? Like there's not an amount of money that you can give me to blindside Crooked I. I would never do it. I would never do anything to compromise what I thought our relationship was. And he did everything. He put me in every position that you can think of, just as a friend. And he's the last person that I ever would have expected that from.
And he on Twitter saying Joe wouldn't never answer my call. Joe never called me. Nigga, every time we spoke, you was trying to convince me to take a deal somewhere. No. Not doing that. I understand your position, because you be like, you do things the right way. Like I maybe have gone, like niggas could be mad at me for whatever the reason, but you be doing shit the right way. So for this to happen to you, like I feel bad for you, even though I'm the one getting this.
Now is not the time, man. Now is not the time. It's a time in the world where people are slowly waking up, stepping into a higher level of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like people are talking about economic growth. People are talking about coming together, bringing our finances together, controlling the black dollar, throwing around phrases like generational wealth, all of these different things. This is not the time to be dividing up against each other. You know what I mean? Like y'all did an album together before. It wasn't a problem then. Now, all of a sudden, you got to turn me into your op to do so. I can never be your op. I can never be an op of Crooked I or Joell Ortiz. Never. Not in a million years. I'd never let you do that. Never. All I can do is just gracefully bow out and put my hands up like this. And I feel the same way about Lupe Fiasco and anybody else who I've been caught on a public platform arguing back and forth with about something that can always be resolved. So it looks like to me that they're the ones with the issues. I don't have any issues with anybody. So if they have issues, those issues should have got brought to the table. You know what I mean? And all of the conversations that we've been having as of late, and the order in which we were speaking, all four of us, the way that we fought to get the brand off of the label, all four of us, not just three of us, it don't seem like none of the moves that they're making now lines up with what we were doing and what we were talking about. You know what I'm saying? And the doors to heaven have always been open. We don't need to be in a deal to make music. You know what I mean? They don't know about they don't know about West Side Gun trying to get all of the Slaughterhouse on one song for his album. Like West Side Gun, this is for y'all, the people that are listening. West Side Gun reached out to me and he said, I want all the Slaughterhouse on one song and I want Joe on it too. I want to bring Joe out of retirement. I got Joe on the phone and talked him into the idea of doing it. And all he said was, I'll do it, but I got to come out to Detroit with you before Crooked and them get there. Because you know how it is rapping with Crook. You ain't rapped in a long time. Before Crooked and them get there, I want to come out there with you and just kind of like lay a few things and get myself back in the groove of doing it. But we was all set to do that. And then Gunn just decided to do something different. But that's the only reason why it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So the whole idea of Joey being in retirement and Slaughterhouse splitting up, we never split up. Like there's been times where we stopped and then we go again. We stop, we go again. You know, these are things that just happen. You know what I mean? Like there's been times where it's been issues and shit that needed to be discussed. We all had little issues here and there. And for the most part, we've been able to discuss them and get past them. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they're trying to discuss some of this shit and they just felt like they weren't heard. Like, I'm still trying to be empathetic and understand it somehow. Like, if you listen to Crook, he say, yeah, I've been trying to drive this point home forever. It just always ends in, hey, I brought some crazy deal with a lot of money to the table and he wouldn't take it. Well, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that. And I don't like the whole misleading narrative that we've been doing other things and having them waiting, and they've been waiting on us. They've done more while Slaughterhouse was on like a timeout. They've done more than we have put together. Joell formed a whole nother group.
Nigga, Joell did a podcast.
Joell did a podcast. Joell did
fucking groups.
They did a group album.
Man.
Crook did a whole TV show. It's like nobody was waiting on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then everything that I've done outside of Slaughterhouse, I've always included Slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? So there never was a time where it was just like somebody was waiting on us. So it's like, if you're gonna tell your truth, man, tell your truth. Speak for you. Don't speak for us. Don't put words into my mouth. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. And then, you know, like the whole just using my name and metaphors and all of that. It's like, come on, man. That's like shit the MCs do when they looking for a lyrical response. You know what I mean? And Slaughterhouse was never built on division. Like, yes. I think one of the things that people were drawn to and what they loved about Slaughterhouse was the fact that we could unify four completely different entities and figure out a way to do 7 to 10 years together.
But niggas,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's the other part about it, Royce. Like, in the middle of all that, trying to get off of Shady or whatever, right? Like, the common theme for at least you, me, and Roy and Joell was, yo, let's just make it fun again. Like, some of that shit that Joell is saying in these verses, like, yo, let's just get back to wanting to rap and have fun. And yeah, that feels good. But if one person is focused on all of this business shit and just is leveraging the business a different way, then it's tough to do that. Like, it's tough to just be about the fun of it. So that's just what's nasty. That's what's nasty to me about it. I don't like the way that Crook is shaping that all. And I ain't about to keep getting to the fans and talking about ownership and what it means and what it's worth. If this is what y'all want to do, have a blast. But you can't ever get back to the essence of just rapping and having fun and what this shit was built off of if somebody else's agenda is somewhere different. And that's what I keep saying. Like, you can't say that about me. I just stopped rapping. I just stopped. I love this shit. I love it like you, nigga. But I stopped. It wasn't right. It was wrong. Let's get it right first. Let's not just keep doing whatever the fuck we was doing. That might be okay for some people. That's not okay. That's not okay for me today. Don't tell no fans about no fucking contract. Send something. Some humongous deal. That's the other thing. What's huge to you might not be huge to like, it's selfish. It's just selfish. It's selfish. And I can't continue to convince niggas to not take advances. Because I've been there before. And I hate even talking like that because it sounds like you shitting on niggas to take advantage. I done promised 2 and 3 projects for an advance sometimes. So I totally understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But 20 years in, no. And if my brother is rich, if me and Dill is in a group and Dill is rich, I'm never going to take another. I'm not taking no more advances. Nigga, fund this shit. I can't convince people of it. I can't convince people of how to do that. I can't. Not today. Have a blast. Do what you're doing. I wasn't even going to talk about this shit till the album dropped.
But we never, another point, another key point, important point is we never said no to that deal. We didn't turn that deal down.
Well, I asked a valid question. I said, see, because that's the other part that's getting mixed out of this. Fam, you were trying to sell ownership rights. If my understanding is correct, you were taking some money to sell ownership rights, and I just didn't understand it. I asked the question. Valid question. Hey, why would we do that? Why would we just make it make sense to me? I'm selling off some rights for a fucking check for a nigga to do what? But I can't tell somebody else what makes sense for them and what don't. I can't. But this is fucking disgusting.
This is all your fault, bro.
Somehow, probably.
This is all your fault, bro.
How do I fix it?
First of all, don't blame Paul. Paul.
Yeah, I can fucking why I don't like it. I ain't saying nothing else about this till this album drop. Nope. I don't like it. Don't blame Paul. Don't blame Paige. I love you, man. I see you in here. I meant to hit you earlier. I love you. But yeah, those my guys. I hope that they are okay, physically and mentally and spiritually. But nah.
You know what, man? The shit that the fans encourage and the things that they champion says a lot about us. It says a lot about the reputation of rappers. Like rappers are really some cornballs to these fans. You know what I mean? Like they think that everything is about us rapping against each other about everything. They think that this is how we communicate with each other, just rap about each other. Or they think that, like, you know, throwing each other under the bus is like just a prerequisite. This is something that just comes with it. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
It's interesting. It's interesting because you know why everything is going on. When Slaughterhouse was up and running, they would praise us for the brotherhood. You know what I mean? You put a mic in front of Joel's face and it's just like, yo, Royce is one of the realest dudes I ever met in my life. And then, you know, as soon as they go on this run, it's like everybody just the fakest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody's like, go, go, go. More division, go, more. And it's like what y'all not realizing is y'all are the ones that's coming up with the shortest end of the stick. If you truly wanted a Slaughterhouse album, this was the closest that we have ever come to doing it. And everything was going fine. And then out of nowhere, we get blindsided with this bullshit. That's not weird to y'all?
No, Royce. These fans are fucking idiots. No. I hate to say that. These fans is idiots, Joe. Oh, I'm glad they're telling their truth and getting their closure out. They deserve this. They built this too. Nigga. You know. And I don't know who's dumber, the fan or the, and I'm not talking about all fans. I'm not talking about all fans, but that fan or the person that's trying to explain it to that fan. And I'm still shocked that you are just as mad, if not madder, than me. And all the shots is coming to me. Yo, this is craziness, yo.
Yeah, man. Jesus.
But I'm glad you look great and you're doing well. And your skin is glowing in the studio. But that's the other thing, right? When we get out of this emotional shit, what makes... No, I'm not going to say that bad. The rapper in me still don't be confused. Like,
the rapper in you what?
Be confused. That's it. That's it. The rapper in me be confused, boy. I think niggas play with me a certain way because I'm busy. That's what I think. And it's like I said to you, man. I said, no way somebody put their pen to the paper to do that. Because when you put your pen to the paper to do that, like you really thought this out. You rhyme.
It's a whole staged rollout, brother. The whole thing is staged. It's like Jesse Smollett. Like it's a whole stage narrative with just some small truths to what's being said, but for the most part, it's just a whole bunch of misleading manipulation. It's based on a lot of old grievances.
See, but this is why people say I be gaslighting. I don't see what the fucking grievances are, yo. I don't understand what the beef is. I still don't know. I heard the records and I don't know. Outside of the interpretation of you not wanting to do it, that's what did it maybe. You not wanting to do it. Maybe we could find a way to do a 3-man album, but you siding with him and he on the sidelines.
Yeah, but that's not true. Like the only time the option of doing a 3-man group was ever presented to me was when we were on Shady and we were at that standstill with Shady Records. You actually said you're not rapping on Shady Records. So Paul hit me and he just was like, yo, like the possibility of doing a 3-man shit, I'm just letting you know that I'm open to that possibility if you are. And I told him no thank you, but I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, like the offer. And he was like, cool. And we were all cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So now, fast forward all these years later, when Crooked came and he put the humongous bag on the table, the offer, this is what he said to me. He said, where are your thoughts at in terms of doing the 3-man situation now, like today, present day? And I was like, my thoughts haven't really changed on it. I was like, but why are you asking? And he was like, you know, just in case Joe decides that he doesn't want to rap, because, you know, Joe kind of back and forth. And I was like, well, have we been on the same conference calls and Zoom calls? I mean, because nothing about the way that Joe's been moving says that he's not going to rap. But I was like, let me talk to Joe and just see what he's talking about. So I went to you and you said you with it. I just got a couple questions about the way that the business is going to be done. And I took that back to Crooked. And he said, you know, in all fairness, you know, Tony may not want to do business with Joe because of business dealings that they had in the past. And I said, well, Tony doesn't get to determine who's in and who's out in Slaughterhouse. That's not his decision to make. And Crooked said, okay. So as it stood right there, you get all 4 members totally open to negotiate this deal if it's going to be a real deal. And you and I both know that it's not officially an offer until it's on paper. It's called a deal memo. Nobody ever sent any of us a deal memo. I never received one. And this guy, Tony, who we're talking about, who put the deal on the table, I introduced him to them. They met him through me. He went and did business with every single person around me that he met and did bad business with them. There's still people that I'm cool with who's like, yo, what's up with your boy Tony? He owes me ABC. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for him to say, yo, I don't like the way Joe did business, but I can put this deal on the table just for 3 of the members. Yo, man, number one, that's wrong. But I think that's why Crooked felt like he couldn't be transparent with me and just say that. So when he seen that I wasn't with the 3-man,
let me try
when he seen that I wasn't with the 3-man group idea, well, I'm not with the 3-man group idea because that's not what Slaughterhouse is based on, but I'm also not with anybody coming and telling me all 4 of y'all want to rap, but one of y'all, I'm not gonna let y'all rap with this deal. I don't want him to be a part of it because of previous dealings that we had. Would y'all, who would go for that?
Which is why it might be hard for him to have that conversation with you.
Yeah. And then, mind you, this whole time, I had been talking to Crooked every single day. Crooked was working on his solo album, the album that he's calling his magnum opus. So he himself said that he wouldn't even be ready to start recording for Slaughterhouse until he finished that album. So out of nowhere, some months go by, I noticed I hadn't heard from Crook. I hit Crook, no answer. Text him, no answer. I posted a piece of one of the songs that I produced on him and his brother's album and added him. It was like, yo, you like this intro better than the previous intro that I did? He never responded. His brother Meech got in the comments and put a fire emoji, but Crook himself never responded. So I figured there was something there and there was something up. Maybe he felt the way about something, but I didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? But that was the first time that I've ever hit Crook and he didn't respond to me. So I just thought it was a little bit weird. You know what I mean? And then out of nowhere, boom, flaming pig emojis. Flaming pig logo.
I hit Joel that first morning. I told you I was. Very next day, no answer. But I mean, I see why. There's no answer. I wouldn't answer a nigga neither. I got this album coming out. But I think it's whack that niggas got to talk on the phone or do this half to a phone or live or do this group. Bro, I think all of it is going. I do, yo. That's not where I'm at. That's not where I'm at mentally. It is really whack. It's whack that grown men, especially in hip hop, just have a hard time expressing themselves. Like we the best in the world that are expressing ourselves, but we don't unless it's in song format. Like I wish there was a way that they could have explained to me all the hurt that I caused them, apparently. And it's a lot of hurt. That's why I didn't really want to talk about this, because they looking to misconstrue words. Mm-hmm. Like they looking to take you out of context. Like Joel is on the Twitter shit. So I'm like, what did Joe got one more time? And I'm like, is that where your brain is? Like
we don't even talk to each other like that.
You don't think I'm calling you?
You know, like we don't even do that. That's misleading as hell. We don't talk to each other like that. We don't even have those kind of disagreements where we got to speak to each other that way.
But that says that something's going on, man. That says that something's going on. And I just wish that it was handled differently. I'm not even talking about the album. Like, go ahead, express yourself. But do it on both fronts. Have the talk with me and you that's uncomfortable. Like, have it. And then do whatever you got to do musically. Like, but do both. This shit.
Yo, to take the brand off of Shady and own it outright 100%, there's a lot more to that brand building than just what music that we're gonna do together moving forward. There's a lot of stuff that we recorded previously that we have full ownership of. There's merchandise that hasn't been available to the fans that we can redistribute, represent to the fans. There's so much that we could do with the brand other than just music. That's why I was tripping so much about burning the pig and all of that stuff. It's like when you go to that extent to let the world know that you are finished with this brand, how can we come behind that and sell somebody a t-shirt? You see what I'm saying?
For $8.
That's why it's like, this is something, you're not doing it. You're not doing that and burning down something and getting at me. You're getting at yourself too. Like, you're burning down something that you yourself own 25% of. Why do you have to do that just to put out an album? You can put out an album and air out all your grievances that you want to. You know what I'm saying? But to do it in a way that says, yo, we're totally burning this shit down. We done with it. We want y'all to be done with it. These niggas had us waiting. Tell all the lies you want to tell. And then now, just to do an album that you took in advance to do, that somebody else owns. You just took all of the black ownership out of the paint.
I know, and you got the nerve to sit there and do this fucking Love and Hip Hop confessional when they hit.
Yeah, and then you got the nerve to talk about integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Like, bro, everybody was in full support of Joell Ortiz when he did the Jello record. You remember the Jello record?
Stop, yo. I'm trying to keep a straight face. Go ahead, man. Yes.
Like, nobody ever calls anybody out on these things. It's like, yo, you never done anything for a check, then what is the Jello record?
I'm not with you.
I'm serious. Yo, go to YouTube right now.
Hold up.
And type in Joell Ortiz Jello.
All right.
Come on, shake that Jello. Baby, let me see you move that Jello. Ooh, so soft that Jello. So I wanna bite that Jello. Bounce that Jello, bounce it.
I'm just saying, to each his own. To each his own. But when you do things like that and they don't work, it's not anybody's fault. It's not my fault. Niggas keep insulting me with compliments and shit, talking about I won the Grammy and then following it up with an insult. I won the Grammy because I got nominated for a Grammy because I went and did what was on my heart. If I had went and done Jello, then I might have been in the same predicament as you. To each his own, man. You know what I mean? The Jello bunch.
Stop, Royce.
All right, I'm playing.
Stop.
I ain't gonna do that.
Stop. Right, man. See, because that's the thing that needs to be, right? Everybody, because I'm aware of how I come off when I say that, but everybody at some point has done something transactional, like done something for a check. When I say do something for a check, I'm not talking about doing something just to feed your family. I'm talking about doing.
He knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, but fans don't. I'm talking about doing something that's your moral compass. Like something that you know better than and wouldn't do under normal circumstances. And you're doing it. And that's why I don't respect Crook being the nigga to say, yo, this is done, I swear to God. Well, you can't say that because you shake your ass for a check.
Mm-hmm.
So if the right check is in front of you, well, nigga, you right back to rapping. What the fuck are we? I'm chilling, man. I support everybody. Hey, somebody yesterday gave me a different perspective. They was like, hey, these niggas might have raised the property value of Slaughterhouse. Because now if we get back together and do an album, it's lit. And I was like, that's one way to look at it.
First of all, Tony Bucher, for the people who don't know Tony Bucher does playlisting. That's what he does. So one of his specialties is padding numbers.
Tony Bucher got that second video from 30,000 views to 749,000 views. And
those views are not real, bro.
Man, like, what are we doing?
They are destroying the brand, destroying it. Because the brand is built on authenticity, man. It's not built on all of these antics and semantics. And it's certainly not built on two of the members in the group going against two of the other members in the group.
I ain't gonna lie though, Royce, as a fan, it might be hard. Like, we've never seen that in hip hop. I've never seen it.
What's that?
Where a group just start beefing, like with each other publicly. I've never seen that. I know about all the group beefs privately. But to publicly beef, if I was active, this could get fun. But But no, because who does that, yo?
When was the last time? Like Ice Cube versus Easy?
Yes. Look how far you would have to go back. Yes.
In their 20s.
Come on, man. This is foolishness in your 40s, yo. I'm not doing it. I'm not participating. I've done enough stupid shit in my career, yo. I'm chilling. I've learned that there's a value. See, and that's where the dysfunction was too. There's a value in silence. Like there's a value in it. I have Maybach outside, I don't drive it. Might be 900 miles on that shit. And the longer it sits just like that, is the longer the value stay the same. I ain't gonna go outside and start beating this shit up with a fucking bat. Just start breaking the windows and fucking shit up. Like, why would I do that? It just don't make sense. But I can't tell you what to do with your portion of the house. If we roommates and you feel like fucking some shit up, then goddamn it, fuck it up. Have a blast. I don't necessarily think it's right. But if that's what you do, then that's what you do. I could really get narcissistic in this take, but I won't. Because you know who be the niggas that do that? The niggas that just got to come in and rap. Or the niggas that just got to come in and do a fucking job. Not the niggas that fucking had to fucking try to spend 24/7 thinking I had to get this shit off the fucking ground. Like, not the niggas that just lost sleep, like, with this on their mind constantly. You talking about a fucking tattoo, nigga? Don't get me fucking started. I ain't doing this on live.
Oh, man.
We're going to have to do another one of these when the album drops. Really me. It ain't even you. They're going to tear me up next week. When you put that work in, though, the rewards feel different. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to Empire, right? This is after a long career of record label shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 17 years, a lot of years of it. And I got to Empire, and Empire was like, this is how much money you have to do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you want to do. But this is your budget. It's yours to spend, and you're spending it against your selling power, and we're not paying you until the quarter is up of your album selling. At first, it's like, nigga, what? You're not paying me until 4 months later? I gotta pay for all this shit myself? You're not supporting? Wait, this is all mine? But wait a second. Also, I'm finally in control of this. This is my destiny. This is my fate to decide.
Mm-hmm.
You go your head down, you get in the studio, and you think a little harder about shit, and you get to the work. And then when you sell something and that check comes, it just feels different. It feels different. And I can't convince somebody of that who's just used to taking the advance, who's used to taking the front. And hey, you spend the money, I'll do the work. If you make it back, you make it back. Fuck it. No, not at this juncture.
I mean, because I mean, in all fairness, that's not necessarily the wrong way of doing things. It's just a preferred way of doing things, and that's cool too. That's fine too. But that's one of the things that when you are collaborating with people, that's one of the things that's hard. It's hard to agree on business tactics. You know what I mean? Like, it's way more things that need to be agreed upon than just song.
That's the thing. Like, you realize when you get to this crossroad, in hindsight, you can recognize the people that were never trying to agree with you. Chris was never trying to agree with me. I was busy saying I'm never rapping on Shady, and he got an Eminem feature. He was at Paul office every second. The nigga got Eminem to produce some shit over here. That nigga was trying to get buddy. What the fuck you wanted me to think about what you was doing? You've been looking for a way to kind of get this And you finally did it.
Well, actually,
I applaud it.
Actually, I produced that album for Family Business, Crook and his brothers. And then I took it up to M Studio and played it for him and got him excited about the group. They didn't end up signing the group, but it brought them closer. And then that turned into M doing that interview on Crook's Corner. All of these things are a result of me championing them to him and them.
That's your version. I think it's that.
I mean, it's just what it is. And it's something that I do for any of my brothers at any time. It's not something that I do looking for anything in return. Like it's a fulfillment that comes along with watching any of my brothers, you know, catch a W in any way. You know what I mean? In any way. You know what I mean? So it never was a time where my relationship with Shady, the label and the people, was in shambles because of my relationship with you or anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard for me to toe that line. You know what I mean? But it never was the whole group against Shady type of situation. It was just one of those things where we had to accept your position and accept their position.
But that's what
it's tough. You know what I mean?
But that's why I really do feel bad for you. Yeah, you've been in a tough spot the whole time. You've been in a tough little spot the whole time, man.
It's like, damn.
Well, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like getting a podcast or interviewer stuff. So there's no way you rap again with these niggas.
Huh?
If the proper conversations were had, there was no way you would rap again with these niggas.
Well, I'm never gonna say never, but I don't see the purpose at this point. But I mean, I forgive them already. The things that offended me, that I'm offended by, I already forgive them. I don't have a choice but to forgive them. We don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time to be, you know, I don't have time to be doing all that. You know what I mean? Because I don't, personally, I wouldn't know where to start. If I made up my mind and convinced myself that I was going to be an enemy of theirs, where the fuck would I start at? What I'm going to do? What are we going to do? Fight? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Rap, disparaging things about each other? What we doing? Who the fuck got time for that?
It's all corny. And ain't nobody enemies. But that's the part that was confusing when all this shit came out. I'm sitting there like, okay, Slaughterhouse shit didn't work out the way you planned, but you think that mean I don't want the best for you and your family? Like, what the fuck is, hip hop get us in this real divisive space. And the more I age, the more I start sounding like my uncles when they used to talk about this shit. Man, hip hop is changing. It's like, I don't want to be that guy. But some of the shit that we on, I couldn't put my pen to paper and write nothing about Joell Ortiz. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? It's no problem.
What you gonna write about him?
Nothing. Nothing. What's the problem? What is the issue? Nothing. There's nothing to say. Oh, man. Interesting. Joell is here. Add him. Add him for what? Nigga, I texted him the other day. What the fuck? Maybe I had the wrong number. One thing about me, I'm going to get right to it. If there's a conversation need to be had, I'm going to try to have it. I think Crook is hurt. And at some point when it don't have nothing to do with it.
What is he hurt? What is he hurt about? What is he hurt by?
Something. He said that. I got to take him at his word. He said that. They asked him verbatim, yo, Joe ain't say much, but he said he was hurt. And then Crook's response was, well, how you think we felt? How you think we felt with you holding shit up? And I think he felt like Joe was like the spoiled kid and we should be able to work around him. And Royce, you didn't roll with this. All right, then you down with that. And I'm hurt by that. I'm going to try to understand it. I mean, yeah, I could see somebody being hurt, I guess.
I didn't roll with what?
with a 3-man album. You should have rolled. You didn't roll.
What you talking about when we were on Shady?
Came in and said the other part. You didn't roll. So why?
You talking about when we were on Shady?
Yeah.
So releasing an album with 4 members and then coming behind an album that wasn't received well for the most part, and then coming behind that and doing a 3-man album on Shady, you think like people think that would have been a good idea?
I don't think so, but I think Slaughterhouse and I think big, like I think huge. I think that the optics should match the talent, and I don't think that we ever had that fair shot. So part of ownership is being able to control how you appear, how you present yourself without Paul having input, without him having input, without Al. I'm glad, hey, we need a single over here. Like, hey, whatever you want to do, let's do it. And I don't think we ever got that. And we can't get it under this construct.
I mean, that may not have been, looking at it in retrospect, that may not have been a possibility on the major. It may not have been, we may not have had needed to put it on the major. You know what I mean? Like, that's just one of the things that we may not just have been able to figure out, you know? And it's not always necessary. When I'm mentoring younger artists and I'm advising them, I always tell them, don't just sign a deal just for the sake of saying that you signed a deal. You have to have a firm understanding of the tools that the labels have. And then you also have to have a firm understanding of what it is that you need. And then going to a label who can provide the things for you that you need in order to be able to scale as a brand. You know, like a big mistake that we make is we sign to majors and then we go, okay, yeah, so we sign now. And then we look to the label to build us. But really, that's not what their job, that's not what they're here to do. They're not here to build you. They're here to make money, spend the least amount of money possible and make the most profit possible. As long as you understand that, then you are good. You know what I mean? So usually that step, when you get as big on the underground as we did, usually that step gets taken when you decide that you want to go mainstream.
Yes.
Did we ever need to go mainstream? I mean, that's a whole nother question. You know what I mean? So maybe it just wasn't, you know, maybe it wasn't meant for us to be on the iHeartMedia stage. Maybe that's not the coolest look for Slaughterhouse. I know you couldn't get Royce the 5'9" on the iHeartMedia stage right now. You couldn't get me on a stage like that. For what? You know?
Yeah, but you got to learn that. You got to learn that. And I don't think I learned that. And that's where we at. It's just creative differences. But like you said, I forgive niggas. I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not mad. Once the initial shock wore off of, oh, that's what you're doing. Like, get your shit off. That was blast. I mean, I won't be privy to it. I'm not looking at none of this nasty shit, but I'll listen and see what's going on. You tore that Best Buy up. Yeah, you're right. You did.
You want to talk to Joell?
I don't care. I don't care.